With that, we want to welcome in our NBA sideline reporter and ESPN LA radio host, George Sedano, to join us for this discussion. Thanks for joining us from LA, George. And let's start with Luka Doncic, guys, because after winning Rookie of the Year last season, he catapulted himself into the MVP discussion. You're not at the top, okay, but in the discussion, in the conversation. His averages of 28 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists per game have only been posted by 2 other humans on Earth, Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook, over a full season. And keep in mind, this is a player in year 2, on the brink of his first playoff appearance. So, Paul Pierce, if the Mavericks hold on and make the playoffs, what do you expect from Luka Doncic?
I expect special things from him. I mean, you talk about a kid who made one of the biggest leaps in recent memory from a Rookie of the Year to MVP caliber player. I mean, he's won every European championship that you can think of, every European MVP that you can think of. So I expect special things from this kid. Clearly, he's special. He's a talent. He's probably, to me, he is the most talented player in the NBA today. And the lights are never too bright for him. So I expect big things out of him come playoff time.
Listen, P, I'm right there with you. This kid is a stud. One thing about Luka Doncic, you could drop him anywhere in the world. I'm talking about in the hood in Europe, in the hood in the United States, at a rec center, wherever it may be, he's going to give you that 28, 9, and 8. And on top of that, guess what? We was talking about Luka in a conversation with 2 players, Magic Johnson and LeBron James, as one of the best, who's the best 20-year-old to ever play the game. And Luka is in that conversation. Right now, he's a top 5 player in the league. He's an MVP candidate, and I'm right there with Paul. He's one of the most talented guys that is in the NBA today. And with him, he's been playing at a professional level since a teenager. He dominated in the Euro League as a teenager. He won Rookie of the Year, so I expect nothing less but what we've been seeing of him of late, and that's greatness. So he's going to flourish well down there in that Orlando bubble, in my opinion.
Wow, look, I'm with Perk on this, Rachel. He is one of the most talented players in the NBA. Paul, the most talented. I don't know if I'm ready to go there, especially in a league.
Most talented.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're a future Hall of Famer. I'm not, but I'm just going to say I disagree. It's okay. As long as there's a guy named LeBron James in this league, I'll still bestow that upon him. However, Luka is in that conversation.
I can throw Kevin Durant in there, a couple other players too.
For sure. He is a top 5 MVP candidate. There's no question. I think, Rachel, he's going to perform like one. And look, he's going to have to perform even greater than he did in the regular season because they're short 3 players going into this bubble, specifically a guy like Dwight Powell, who was an impactful player for them. And again, one thing you have to notice when it comes to Luka is the way the Mavs win is when he shoots the 3 ball really well. In losses, he shoots the ball 13 percentage points lower from 3 than in wins, even though his points per game are pretty much the same. So as Luka goes is how the Mavs will go.
That is certainly going to be true more than ever this playoffs. Okay, I want to get to the other guy, though, Luka's in crime, Kristaps Porzingis. George, his injury history well documented, so do you trust Porzingis in that role of second star on the Mavs?
Rachel, I do, but maybe not in this particular situation, right? I think he's still trying to grow into that role. Those guys are still trying to feel each other out. In February, when Luka Doncic was missing a good chunk of the season at that point due to an ankle injury, Kristaps Porzingis had his best stretch of the season. He shot 48% from the field and almost 40% from 3. Meanwhile, once Luka came back, it kind of came back down to the mean, which was what he was shooting before Luka got there, which is around 41% from the field and about 32% from 3. While I think he's got all the skills in the world to be that great number 2 complement to Luka, they're still trying to figure each other out a little bit.
Well, George, I think that Porzingis is going to fit well into his role. You know why? Because I gave Porzingis a lot of heat, and I called him soft, and I called him a diva. But guess what? He does something that a lot of bigs don't do. He stretches the floor. He's not a guy that plays in the paint. He could shoot the 3 ball. And when Luka went out, like you said, he averaged 27 points a game. To me, he was finally getting healthy right before the pandemic, and he was showing flashes of being able to be that Robin for Luka. And by the way, Luka is like LeBron James. he makes it easier on everybody, makes it easier for everyone else on his team, so he's going to get Porzingis wide open looks. And by the way, Porzingis is one of the most versatile bigs in the game because when you close out on him, he's capable of putting the ball on the floor and Euro stepping, getting to the rim and dunking on you and all that and so forth, along with being able to shoot the tray ball from deep, by the way.
Let me put it this way. How many second fiddle guys do we call unicorn? Not many. Maybe Anthony Davis. I mean, come on. You know, Ben Simmons. I mean, he's more than enough as your second fiddle. You gotta understand, guys. He's coming off over a year long injury, to where now he's out here averaging 19, 20 points a game, 10 rebounds. Second fiddle. That's good enough to be your best player on the team. You got to remember, he was used to being that 1A guy. He's been put in a robbing position. And I think on nights where Luka doesn't have it, he's more than capable. He showed it when Luka was out. He showed he's capable of carrying the offense on any given night. So I think he is more than capable. And we know what he brings you with his versatility, with his defense. He's gotten stronger. And with this layoff, I think he'll be more than ready. I think he's ripe for that position of number 2 guy.
I mean, he was used to being not 1A, but just number 1, right? He was the most important player on the Knicks for quite some time. So it is an adjustment. It's an adjustment. It's not because he's not good enough, but it is probably an adjustment to learn how to play off of someone like Luka a little bit differently. And then, of course, an adjustment after that injury. We have seen with everyone who's had these kinds of injuries, whether it's Paul George, Gordon Hayward, you come back, but that first season you come back, you are not quite yourself. Maybe that's an advantage for the Mavericks with this restart. They're almost getting into a second season back for Porzingis, even though it's technically still just the first season. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.